Right, welcome guys, welcome. We are going to be playing or continuing on where we were last time with Shadow Empire. I'm just going to move my head up a little bit. I'm just covering the screen slightly. So just bear with me. That should be about right there. Okay, let's leave it there. That's the best spot I think for heads in the game. Alright, so we're continuing on where we had left off. So if you've never seen Shadow Empire before, it's a hybrid of a lot of different genres. It's mainly a war game, but with RPG elements and also with political elements, with production. It's a bit of 4X, a bit of everything really, but on incredibly detailed, procedurally generated worlds, like where the where they've actually sort of used real planetology to sort of actually have the worlds built, which is awesome. So if we go into the reports, for example, I can then just go into the help area and go through how the planet was then generated. So if we go to the planetology, it sort of starts off with our planet orbiting an orange KO star, so like a red, like just before it becomes like a red giant or red dwarf, whatever it might be. And it's been around for 5.1 billion years, which is enough time for life to develop on these sorts of worlds. Quite hot at 29 degrees is the average temperature, and this very high solar irradiance. Now, that's worth us keeping track of actually, because that's going to give us the ability to use solar panels fairly effectively. At anything over 1,000 is above average. And then we've got 130% heavy elements, which also means that there should be viable mining on the world as well. So that's sort of where we are. It then goes through the geology and figures out how much mountains there are, plains and oceans essentially, what the wind speed is going to be. We then also get to sort of see the atmospheric, it has a thin atmosphere, so the atmosphere is quite thin on this particular world. So it's not really viable. It's not going to be viable for aircraft. Sort of it is, but it's not overly. Biosphere, it then goes through what the actual what the makeup is in through here. So now we've got carbon dioxide is the prevalent gas, but there's also H2S. What's that? Hydrogen disulfide or something? I'm not sure. Disulfide, or would it be the other way? It would be I'm not sure. Could be it could be sulfuric acid. Who knows? I'm not sure how that one actually is working. There is also some methane in the atmosphere as well, which is good. And then we have different sorts of aliens. So we've got a land-dwelling, large 12-meter herbivore is the top of the evolutionary life form, and then we also have sentient life forms as well, which come from which we came across in the last session actually, Bichetan sapiens. Bichetan is a carnivorous animal on the actual world, and then the sapiens have come from that, where we actually have some alien native class. So cephaloids in through here is essentially what we end up having, which are sort of like whales, I guess, sort of like whale-based units. It's sort of like where they would have come from. I'm not sure how that sort of translates into the actual game. I haven't come across them at all just yet. pH is a little bit acidic. Back in through this other side. Colonization, it then goes through. We only had 12.3 million colonists that came to the actual world. There was then the apocalypse, which not much actually happened in this one here, so there wasn't a hell of a lot that happened. We're down to 1.6 million though on the population, with 53% scavengers and 47% raiders are what's left. Planetary overview is then just gives me the overview of everything that we just sort of spoke about, and this is the biology essentially with what went on, which we should see. This is the origins of things. Yeah, these are the Bichetan. Evolved 402 million years ago, vertebrate advanced lungs and amphibic feet. And so we have the... so we're going to have different sorts of units around as well. So anyway, I won't go into that in too much detail. I might just put my air conditioner on. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got the hydrogen sulfide. There we go. Hydrogen sulfide is, I'm assuming, is a poison. So we have a poisonous atmosphere, which means that we have to use spacesuits essentially to be able to operate on the planet. Where we are, as we started off, just press the number 1 key, we get rid of all the units, so we can see down Claystron is actually our capital, is where we sort of start, which is at the bottom of the map. So we've got that at the bottom. We do actually have like a metal mine over through this other side. We've got enough water to be able to sort of just, take water from the location. We don't need to sort of mine for ice, which we've got an ice mine there. We do actually have a rare metals location there as well, which we could build up when we sort of have enough. We may even have enough soonish, actually. Let's have a bit of a look and see. Yeah, we're actually not too bad. Let's have a look at Claystron. What's Claystron got? If we just go back and just go back to the actual... Yeah, construction has just been finished on the hospital. So we've just finished construction on a hospital in through there. I'll have a quick look at the decisions that we have as well. Go to the second tab. So we've got a dome. This is the privately run. So they've got schools, police station, an arena, and the hospital will now push up our civilization score. So we're going to end up at Claystron will ultimately end up being fairly civilized. So if we have a look at the civilization score in through here, we will get health points next turn, 100 health points. We've got 100 entertainment points, and these are all pushing up our civilization score. We need to get the civilization score up to 9, I think, before we sort of can then go into the next level of civilization. So the civ score is sort of like it's a weird. I don't know exactly where we find this. Yeah, we've got the quality of life pushes up the civilization, and at the moment health is sort of dragging it down. But health will now be sort of under control. So we'll end up with another 100 points in through there, which will then push all this up. These sorts of security scores end up being, this is based on security points. The quality of life gets divided by the city level to arrive at the quality of life score. So the bigger the level size that you have, the harder it is to push up your quality of life. It's an interesting mechanic, this one, actually. But the bigger the city, the more population you can have. So it's sort of one of these things. Initially, you want to keep your city, you don't want to go too crazy with the city. So they're dividing everything by 3. So 50 divided by 3, we essentially get like a score around these sorts of levels for security and education. This one here, you'll see it's 100. Divide that by 3, we should be getting up to 33, 35 thereabouts. And so it's slowly pushing up the entertainment score, which will then slowly push up the overall quality of life score. And so the quality of life is. If the quality of life is higher than the zone civilization score, it will increase happiness. If it's lower than the zone civilization score, it will decrease happiness. It's quite important to sort of look after this. The high limit of the zone quality of life is a quality of life score average, so all of the different life scores that we have, plus the lowest quality of life score, and then divided by 2. So we end up with sort of something where if you need to have all of them thumping along, which is why we needed to get the hospital, just to get our health points up. So that will then push up our civilization score. The reason we want to do that is that we want to go into construction and government. And, here we go. No, okay, this is actually, we are where we need to be right now. So we've got the bureaucratic offices in through here. This is what we wanted to get, was to be able to build this one through this other side. So the bureaucratic offices 2 is going to cost me 200 metals and 180 in industry points, which I can actually afford. And so we must be at level 2. Yeah, we must have to get to civilization score of 4, not 9. Let me just click on that. So, where is that? Oh no, sorry, we have to be at 2. Yeah, so we're not at 2 yet. So we can't actually build the bureaucratic offices yet. I didn't think we could. I think we have to get to 9. And I think the way that one works, and it will be in the manual. In fact, I probably should show how that works with the manual. Just bear with me, just 1 second. I'm just going to go and see if I can find the manual somewhere. That way we can have it open, so we can just go through these different mechanics. These are quite important at the start of the game. Hi, George, how are you going? Actually, yeah, so we did that one before. CB is saying, howdy, Daz. Funny a stream where I'm not stuck in meetings or at work. Hi, Jukes, how are you going? And Banksy. Saying, hi Daz, glad I'm enjoying part 2 live. Yeah, that's cool. We've only just sort of started. And Dukes has become a supporter. Thank you for that one, Dukes. Very, very much appreciated. So if we just go back into my Steam directory, Steam apps, common, I'll just do it manually. I'll just go straight to it. Shadow Empire, manuals, and we've got dev notes. Yep, so I'll just go with the ebook in here, which is smaller than the printer friendly one. This should be okay. I'm going to right click and go and open that one with Sumatra PDF, which is a bit more of a cut down sort of area there. So that's actually all okay. All right, so in this case, Shadow Empire, we've just got the various areas in through this other side. I can then just do a search for it. So if we're going to search for civilization, oh, that's interesting. It's used English spelling there, so I'll just go to civilly. Found text on page 7. Just got to find where it says civilization score. Here we go. Then on some tabs here, that's okay. That's just telling us how to do it. Hopefully it'll give us the maths of how this one does work. I know what they are, but I just wanted to sort of find it in the manual. Text, okay, that's civilizations. Zone civilization quality of life score represent how cultured and civilized and probably decadent your population of workers are in this zone. Civilization can rise up the quality of life score for a zone. The higher the civilization score, the lower the fertility rate, and so we have to be. It's one of these things we have to be a little bit careful. The average of all zone civilization scores determines the regime civilization level, which is what we're dealing with at this stage. So we're actually looking at the civilization level. Let's just go to the next page. It's just not there. Let's keep on going. Should give us the numbers of how these ones work. Civilization score. Okay, this signifies the level of cultural development of the populace. In time, it goes up with time if it is lower than the quality of life average, and goes down with time if the reverse is true. So it's a slow burn type thing. The higher the civilization score, the quicker unrest and danger are reduced. However, the reverse is true for fear. So they become more fearful. Quality of life score, this significantly signifies the amount of security, facilities and luxuries available to your zone's population. Populace, we've already gone through the ones through those. Quality of life points, regime, average civilization. So workers, I don't know if it'll tell us, it's not giving us the actual the maths on this one here. Where's the maths? Give me the maths. Or the math if you're from the USA. Don't know why they don't put an S on the end of it. Zone civilization, yeah, that's not going to help us. Yeah, I'm not sort of seeing. It's not actually going through the way to do it. It's weird. I wonder why it isn't showing it in the. I mean, there's a lot of things in through here. Surveying. Was that one last one? Yeah, no, that's. Civilization determines the maximum. This is the here we go. This is it here. This is based on the square root of the current of the average civilization score for your regular zones diminished by 1. So when we go back, that's what I was trying to find where it was. I thought it'd be more impactful than that. It's a very important calculation, and particularly at the start of the game. So a civilization score is 5. Now, if we have a look at that, if we get the square root of 5, it's 2.1 something. So it's essentially 2. So we round it down. So it's rounded down to 2 minus 1 gives us a civilization score of 1. So that's this. The civilization score essentially is the average of the various other core cities that we have. We only got one city at the moment. So we need to raise this one to 9. So the square root of 9 is 3, minus 1 is 2. That then allows us to then go and build that next building. So we do have a bit of time up our sleeve now before we have to then go and build we've still got maybe 2 turns or something before we will have the opportunity to build that particular building back from in the government through here, the bureaucratic offices. And what I'm looking for here is I'm really wanting to get these 200 bureaucratic point production. So this will be very, very important to us. I could go with the high command, which will give me 40 of these, and it will also then just give me political bonus points production per round output, 100 political bonus points, will then give me sort of like the points to be able to then spend. This one's viable as well. At the moment, we also do actually have we've got good income of energy, so I could sort of grab that one over 4 turns and then get that one afterwards. And we are sort of raising at a fairly high level with both the metals and with the industrial points. So I could certainly do that one and still then have enough left over when this one comes through to be able to then go and build that one. Or for my money, I could actually go back to mining and click on this location and go back and construct a mine, a rare metals mine. That's going to take 2 rounds. And that way I'll end up getting a lot of rare metals, which will allow me to then build solar panels and also allow me to sell off the rare metals. So that's sort of something where my money will then be under control, which I think would be viable to a degree, because we're going to be able to then sell the rare metals over time. Now we do have 3 machines, so we've found 3 machines in the game so far. So I can do that in 2 rounds. I think I might do that one now. Let's just go and grab that one as our construction. Have a quick look at the decisions we've got to do. Militia learns from experience, so you have the opportunity to place some very experienced mercenaries currently employed with the police force into our militia units. The militia is open to the idea. So let's actually not spend the money, but we'll just go yes.
Okie dokie.
So there's no real problem with that one. Zone city upgrade. Now this is where, if we upgrade to a minor city level 4, this is actually one of these interesting sort of decisions. And again, it sort of comes back to what we were talking about before. We have a big town level 3. Now remember that these actually the security score is so based on the security points, the quality of life points get divided by the city level to arrive at the quality of life score. Now I only have to get to 9, which means that I can take it to the next level up. But the city level 3 is also then going to increase, the higher the city level, the more expectation there is for quality of life. But that's just why they reduce it by that amount. But it also does allow us to then get more population into the actual city itself, which ultimately is a good long-term goal. So we'll end up going that way, I think. So that decision I'm going to upgrade. It's going to cost me 20 political points, which I can afford. So that's not really a problem. And we can do that because of our overall population is higher than it needs to be. So we're over 100,000. So next level is at 100,000. We've got 105 total population in the city. So we'll do the upgrade. So we're now at level 4. This is now going to push the quality of life back a little bit. So we're going to these will then drop a little bit next term. We'll have a look at that when we sort of do it. Military advisors requested. So the President of York Confederation is requesting us to supply him with a few dozen military advisors. They want to increase their military enforcement and esprit de corps. They offer to pay 400 credits in exchange for sharing our knowledge how to instill military enforcement. So do you send the military advisors? Everyone wants to do it. So yeah, we'll do it. So the consensus here is that would be a good thing. So we're playing autocratically through this other side. Now York is what we're going to be attacking fairly soon anyway. So we'll just send those advisors in at this stage. But we have to still build up a lot of other things. All right, that's all our decisions done for the turn. Let's go and press number 1. So back in here, we'll have a quick look at the what we have. We've got a couple of militia forces at the back here. I'm just going to keep them back in this location. There was something up in here, and we've been sort of pushing back. I think that there's more beasts. We haven't been able to sort of see exactly what we're dealing with in here. These are in the flats. We have seen them. We know what they are. There's 2 groups of animals. One is a carnivore and one is a herbivore, like the big herds. But these are really, really big. What we're going to need to do here is actually go and get ourselves a force of armoured cars to be able to start to take these out. That's really the only thing we can do. I've sort of lost. We may end up. Actually, I'll just now talk about one of the other principles of the game, which is reconnaissance. And at this point in time, we've got reconnaissance of 22 back there, and we need to have a 42 to even just get basic information on that particular one. If we go into this one through here, we actually have 39, and again, we need 44 on this hex to be able to get even just basic information. So there's a whole lot of different things that impact that one. Generally, 40 is the minimum recon for most tiles. If you're in like a mountainous area, the recon there, for example, is 31, but you need 92 for like to actually find things in mountains. In hills, it's going to be a little bit different as well. And so this one here, you can see it's 40, but 72 for the hex because it's got 30 landscape hide points. That one's got hide points there of 50. It just means things can hide better. Forests similarly have an increased level of what they can then go and do. Now these are many, many meters tall, the individual units there. But we can't actually see exactly what they are. So if I move this unit in, I hope you guys don't mind me doing these sort of deepish dives, but if I go and have a look at these units, they do have a native recon there of 1, so they have a little bit of recon ability. And so I'm just going to, if I move that one in, it will then add to the recon in this area. So if I just go back in, right click, it's now enough for me to see what's in here. So it's still only limited information. And these are these yellow scale walls that we sort of seen in the last session, which is the Keaton's 9 meter large carnivores. So they've got different things, like for example, they've got polymer, so 40% more hit points per level. So they've got like a hell of a lot of hit points down through this other side. They've got absorption, which so this one, do not register if unmodified attack value is not higher than the unmodified hit points. So these are, you can absorb a lot of damage when the hits do go in. It's a trampler, so this one has up to 30% extra combat bonus versus infantry and guns per level. Now at the moment we've only got infantry. That's why I need to get I need to get some sort of tank or vehicle to go after these guys. It's a Crusader, which means it's going to actively engage a human presence in the neighbouring areas, so it will attack us. And it's also an Acrobat, so up to 40% combat bonus in forests and ruins. Now there's nothing, that's just open grasslands at the moment. So this case, what it's got is it's got a hell of a lot of hit points per unit. It's got, this is its attack value. So soft attack, soft defense. So it attacks infantry at 160, and it's got a defense there of 102. So it's still actually, against infantry, it still defends at 157. So it's about the same attack or defense. It's just not as good defending against, well, you can see there, it's got the soft attacks down there. That doesn't make sense, because this is the actual, this is the hard attack, hard defense. So motorized tanks and walkers are all 34, 27. That should be 157. I'm not sure why it's saying 102. Because that's not, its defense is actually up higher than what we're seeing. That's accurate. That looks like it's inaccurate. By the way, guys, the game is actually only 60% on Steam at the moment. So if you don't have Shadow Empire and you sort of like the complexity or the detail that's in here, you may want to grab it, because yeah, 60% off is a good value for this game. Hi Tepic, how are you going? Is Trader Heavy a good strategy? It can be. Just, you know, with the money type side of things, like just to yeah, I mean, it can be essential to just get things going. So Typic saying, horrible creatures I would not like to have near my yard. Yes, no, these are 9 meters tall, so these are massive, monstrous creatures. Okay, so we've then got the weight is now this is the weight for transfer purposes is 16, so it's very, very high. It's got a recon of 1, so it doesn't see all that well. It's a walker group is sort of where it comes from. So in terms of if it's a hard or soft target, so it's a essentially it becomes a should be a soft target, but maybe it's considered a hard target actually if it's a big walker unit. So it's actually not an infantry unit. So I think it defends as if it's actually a tank unit, like as in an armored hard attack, hard defense, and it moves on foot. And so that's what we know about this particular one. So so we haven't actually been able to, we haven't attacked it yet. We've just been sort of herding them into a little area. So we'll just go and exit that one. If we have a look at our own units as an example, we have our foot. And so we only have, so our infantry have got 105 hit points. They attack at 63 and defend at 125. So we do have better defense. And against walkers, this is against hard attack, hard defense. And so we're actually going to be, we defend against walkers at 63 and we attack at 32. So they're not great at attacking walker type units. So that's going to be an interesting sort of thing. And our movement is foot, the group is infantry that we actually have through here. So anyway, that's where we are with that particular one. So we'll just go and exit there. So our foot, we also have machine gunner units as well, which again are going to, they attack walkers at 43, defend at 87. So we've got a little, and we actually attack at 87 if it's actually a soft target, but this is not a soft target. So this is going to be a hard target for us to then go and try to control. I'm just going to keep these rounded up with this particular group, and yeah, I need to start to move these back away. And what I might do is I might move this guy up just to start to sort of push that one back. We're going to need to push these guys back the other way. Yeah, there's something else up in here. We don't know exactly where. Again, we need to get recon. And so I think getting some armoured cars is going to be ideal. We do have a relationship with this group in through this other side. This is Mayhem. So they're actually, we do have a defined border there. And so we're sort of, but we don't have a defined border yet with York. Now, one of the interesting things when we do attack York is we've got this big river that runs through here. And attacking across that river is going to be quite hard. So if we attack from there into York, it's going to be sort of viable as long as we've got attacks in through here as well. So we're going to be wanting to prepare that. We must have found some Galactic Republic units. Now, this one is not pushing up. Yeah, let's... Okay, we're sort of seeing different areas in through there. We have recon in here of only 27. Okay, we're now seeing another unit back up there. This is non-aligned forces. This is York is here. So let's just move across into that area. That's going to block York in a little bit. We'll just move that one up as well. I'll just go and take that border. This will be either marauders or more beasts if they're coming from this non-aligned area. Alright, we're in the mountains there, which is fine, so we'll just keep them where they are. Now I wanted to move these along the road. If we go back to our, if I press number 6, which is then going to, no, 6 is not what I want. I want to go back down into current points. These are the, show the logistics points that we actually have along the road. Now there's something wrong here. If I just press number 1 and have a bit of a look, we've blocked off a lot of the points along these different roads, but they still keep on dragging the points back up. You know what, actually, I think what it may be, I think I may have screwed this one up. If we go back across now into my map modes and go into traffic signs, so what I've allowed here is 20%. Now this is actually no, click to use traffic signs to stop none of the logistic points leaving the hex in this direction. We want to actually block all of it, to stop all of the logistics points, but I want to just keep a little bit dribbling up into that zone. So I'm going to say 90%. I think I've got that round the wrong way. I had it round the wrong way. That's what it is. So I'm just going to go and place that one through there. Hi Began, how you going? Extra aggressive AI mode, yes. So yeah, Stuffy McGee is saying, yeah, I haven't played this for a while. What's Mayhem mode? Mayhem mode is a new mode that's come through when you create your planets, which actually does a lot of, it just increases the, essentially not just the aggression, but it does make the aggression goes higher, the abilities of the different other factions become higher. There's a lot more loot on the map, essentially. So you end up with a whole lot of different sort of goodies. So it's actually like, it was like and there's Easter eggs as well, if you can find them. I was trying to think if we had seen any Easter eggs last time, and we actually had, but I hadn't really picked on it because I think the name is often consistent with previously as well, and that was the Manoli was the name of the aircraft that we had, which is I think a bit of an Easter egg there back to Marco Manoli, who is the marketing manager for Slytherin. So I think that was because afterwards I was thinking we haven't come across any Easter eggs yet, but it sort of was like a 25-year Slytherin happy birthday addition to the game, and so it's just a basic addition to the game. Yeah. So what I did there is I put 20%, not 90%. I meant to sort of have most points not going into this location. Because I want to be pushing them up towards York. So we'll just go back up. Now that's the same thing in here. When the transport reaches this point, it then splits off, and I had put the same thing in here. I'd done this around the wrong way. I'd done 20. I should have gone with all, essentially. But we are allowing pull points through. So pull points are whatever is asking for things will receive it. And but nothing extra will then get through. If we then go back, what that will then do is when we actually have a branch using these sorts of things is going to help me. So when we get to this level, it's then going to branch around all over the place. But this border is now secure, so I'm going to go and stop. I'm going to allow pull points through, but I'm going to block off all of the pull points here. So I'm just going to go back. I'm trying to push the actual logistics points up to the top, and similarly through here. What we'll see is that there will be certain points that if we do require them to come off the amounts. Like if we go into if I go into preview points, we can then sort of see what the pull points are. Where we see this green little dot in through this other side with a number, that's the pull point. So we've actually got troops that are at this time for the preview for the next turn. There's 21 pull points there, 17 pull points there, 5 there, 10 there, 10 there, 3, 10, etc. When we get down to a location that's got like a red, it means that there's a location also pulling in points, and so this one is pulling in 106 points. With 6 because there's infantry that is also using this particular one, and 200 points from this particular a dome farm that we actually have. So it's a high level dome farm. Back over through here we have a mine which is pulling in 100 points, and then we have 40 points and 25 points respectively going off to feed the various infantry that are up in here. So if we have a look at the if I turn back on the units, so if I press number 1, actually that's not going to show me. Used points, there we go. This is actually the used points from the previous turn, so you can see there that they're coming off the road and then just transporting them out to wherever there's units. So where we had units at the start of the turn is where these things are coming in. So for example, at that point there was 3 points that then came off. This one required 3, and so the 3 points then get sent out to that one. The other units in through here, we had a unit there which we've now sort of shuffled backwards, and so these are all where the different pull points were from the previous turn. It's a really good system actually for logistics. You just have to get around it though. What you need to do is if we're going back into preview points, we can now see there's very minimal points going back along this road, and all of my points are now going to be shuffled up towards the front line of York. So ultimately this is going to be where the fights will then take place. And so we're just pushing up the points up this way. If I press number 1 again, I can see that I've actually locked that one off. At that point, it then splits into 2, and I don't need it going down this way because I'm not going to have any forces down that way. So again, with the traffic sign mode on, I can then go into a location here. I won't go into all the details, but I always want to allow pull points through. I wish that was off by default, and that you had to then actively put that one on. So this is traffic signs for truck logistics and rail logistics, but not for pull points. So pull points will just take what they need along their own road, but in this case we don't want anything along this particular road, so I'm just going to block everything off on that road there. So that's then going to, if I just go then back out, we'll then sort of see that the majority of the points are now going up towards York, and so that's exactly what we want. And the thickness of the line will then sort of dictate how that's going to then work. Logistics in the game is quite complex, but with the principles of actually just manipulating the points that get allocated along roads like this, it's not too tricky to sort of figure it all out. We're going to need to get York, and then we can sort of establish things from there. So York is going to be the next sort of step for us. Okay, so we'll just go and I might even show. I don't know if I can't easily show the Mayhem mode without restarting the game. So I think I'll just leave it off. But essentially, it's just like it's one of those sort of algorithmic things that you can sort of apply. So we certainly have applied that. It looks actually really cool. It looks like it's going to be sort of like probably a default way for me to be playing the game. Now, what we wanted to do is we want to have a quick look at the. I like to leave it on current points just so I can see what I've actually got. Now we actually have artillery, which we can move up along if we've got enough strategic points. So if we have a look at the actual loaders, these have got a weight of 137. So weight for transfer purposes is 137. Carry weight, if it's to be carried by troop type with carry points, is 5. But essentially the weight is going to be the thing that we're going to then sort of have to then push along the road. So it's going to, if we just go back across from here, if I go into the different types of movement that I have, like if I go into, actually where is it? So I've got inspection mode is the safest way to move. This is just the I key where you can't actually move the units. Like if I go and click on a unit, I can't move it. Move is just the standard old move. Now I do want to be moving this one up, but I may want to just keep it. I may want to keep it up there, but I'm thinking I want to move it along this way. I don't think we're going to sort of whatever's in here. There is something up in here. We don't know what it is. Let's just move that one along there. So that's just normal movement mode, which is sort of like the default. You've also got group mode, which will then take any group and sort of try to move them along as well. We'll move this one up into there and move that one up as well. So just move them. That's just standard move. We then have strategic move. Now, you can see if I do just normal movement with these guys, it's only going to move one to that location there. But what I'd like to do is actually shuffle it along the road. So we do have transport points. These are the points, the current logistics along the road itself. So if I go to strategic move, I can then move it to there, but then I don't have enough points to then move it beyond that. So the strategic weight is 685 to actually move this particular unit. So it's not really worth doing that yet. But then the turn after that, we're going to have enough logistics points to then do a strategic move. So let's just go and do a move. When you do a strategic move, by the way, it reduces their readiness by about 50%, which makes it so that they take some time to build back up again with their readiness in it. But I'm just going to move both of these back into the capital, and then from the next turn, we're then going to have the ability to shuffle these along the. I can start to do strategic movement up towards where the attack will then go in. So that will be important. Now we're going to definitely need recon, like for what we're doing here, and again with these points, wherever I've got existing points available, I can then build things, according to logistics. So if we go back into the tab, which one is it? This one here. We're going to raise a formation. Now, what I want to do here, I wish the game again by default would keep brigade as its default when you first started off, because the brigade you don't need corps level troops at the start of the game. You do need brigade level though, just to plug gaps. And also at the start, you don't really need operational HQs. Operational HQs are the groups of units, so we don't need those. We need independent forces. And so a battalion of independent forces is just going to be like a smallish group. And you can see down through here, we don't actually have, we've got 2 pages of what we want. What we want is buggies, 50 buggies in through here. This is going to cost me 500 of my recruits. It's going to cost me 300 of the industrial points, 140 metals, which we have, and so I don't know what that is actually. I forget what that. That's political points of 2. So anyway, independent recon battalion. So to get that one in through there, it's so the troops we've got 100% of. The items we don't have quite enough of the industrial points. Logistics we got 0% with wherever I've got something clicked. Where I'll just go cancel and cancel. So I'm not sure where. Yeah, I clicked out here. So what I want to do is I want to bring that one along and sort of start it off somewhere along in here so we can start to deal with these guys. So I'll just position it there to start with. So if we go and put it on the road where I do have logistics, I just clicked on through that one, raise formation. And now we can get up to 75% of the of that one, 80% for the buggies, which nearly gives me a full set of buggies. So I'm going to chew up all of my industrial points, which means that building that mine is now going to be delayed and slowed down. But these I think are really important. The fact I can get 80% of them, if I'm under 50%, I can't build it. But if I'm over 50%, I can. So I'm going to start here by getting this buggy. And so I'm just going to go and get my rovers. Now the rovers I don't think are that great in terms of their abilities. We'll have a look at that once we get it. But I do want to get these. Actually, if I go back again. What else do we have? We've got... yeah, we don't actually have tanks as such yet. Okay, so we've only really got these. So that's this first of the actual sort of vehicle type things we can actually then go and get. So we're going to just raise this formation. Even if I don't use it for attacks, I still need it for recon. So I need to get the recon up, and I'll show you what that means in just a second. So we now actually have these guys are in here. We only got 30 of them. So we didn't get 80%. We only got 60%. I wonder why. What the difference there was. Yeah, I might just go back into my replacement troops. Go to buggies. I need to get another 2 of these. Yeah, for whatever reason, I can't actually get any more. Oh, we're slightly under. We're at 59. We need 60 to build 1 buggy. So initially, we're not going to be able to have anything in through here. But this will then help with our recon. So we do have 3 of them. And so we can see through here, this is actually this is a recon buggy. Its main armament is advanced machine gun. Has been issued with minimal 5mm steel plating with a medium diesel engine. And so you do build these things up over time. The base design here is 87, which we'll have a look at that in just a minute as well. This will then improve as we start to use it in the field. We've got 7. This is a hit points versus infantry versus non-infantry. So against walkers, we actually have a 117 hit points, which is not great, but it's still up there. And then when we have a look at the abilities here, these are great against soft targets, but we're going up against hard targets for that beast. And so against walkers, we have 74 attack, 74 defense. So it's going to struggle here a little bit. So that is a bit of a problem. We also have an anti-air ability. What else do we have? Size 4. Recon is 7, so it's very, very high in recon. So that's actually, that'll be at least the start of what we need anyway. So I'm just going to go and press exit. Now what I want to do is I want this one to get the bonus of having an operational HQ. So I'm just going to go to the unit, and we're going to change this. First infantry is where I want this one to be placed. So I'm just going to go into my unit administration. We're going to change the HQ across to the 1st machine gun infantry, and so it's now associated with that one. By doing that, it also then changes its readiness and brings that one right down. So it's going to have to take a bit of time just to ready itself up, but we do have some time with that one. Anyway, that's sort of where we are there. Here, CB is saying, seems counterproductive to go to city level 4 since you are nowhere near being able to build level 4 buildings. I don't see the benefit of doing so right now, only negatives. Slower civ level rise. The civ level rise is slow. The reason that I'm doing it, and people may have different ideas, is that the population growth goes up. So when you've got like a higher level city, the populace essentially is you're more likely to get higher population growth than if it's a low level city. It sort of attracts people, but the expectations also go up, which is what's reflected with these civilization scores. But having one of each of these now, so I've actually got security points, education points, entertainment points, and we just got health points. this is going to push me up to that level that I need. So I only need to get to level 9. I don't need to go really, I don't have to worry about going beyond that. We're going to get that in a couple of turns. So no matter what the city level is. So there's no negatives for getting the city level for me at this point in time. If I didn't have as much in through here, it would be harder to get to the 9 in the civilization score, which would then make it so that you'll be thinking, I may consider it at that point, but not at this point. I think this one is just to get the population level. So the next level to get to level 5 is going to be 200 and through this other side and through here. So a lot of the buildings we actually have as well, if we go back into construction, I'm not sure if we'll see many of them actually. There's no limitations here with what we can build. Government, yeah, this is just civilization level stuff to get these, which is nothing to do with the city level. It's not directly related to the city level. I know that there are some government assets max level 1, city max level 4, civilization max level 1. It's sort of, we're just getting a summary there of what we're doing there through there. But it's going to be a slow upgrade with everything that we're trying to then sort of go and do in through this other side as well. So we have a number of different things we need to sort of start to work on. Anyway, we'll just get out of that one. Now, what else was there we're going to talk about? I think that was pretty much it. We do want to surround this city, and we want to eventually get some recon on that city as well, while we keep back whatever the beasts are that are out in this sort of area. Okay, so that soldier doesn't look smart, says Topo. I'm not sure which one you mean. Anyway, that's fine. I'm a big fan of mid-score logistics option on the world setup, much less pushing than standard logistics, without completely eliminating the need to think about the logistics itself. I love the logistics, so I just keep it on default because I really enjoy that in this game. I know I'm a bit of a masochist in that sense. Where sort of I enjoy the pain of it, but I do enjoy it a lot. It was the thing that attracted me to this game pretty much more than anything at the start, and I just love the idea of the logistics. Okay, so Marika's saying logistics is a core game. For me, it's the most fun part of the game. Yeah, for me too. I really and also the planet generation and just how different every single planet actually is. I love the logistics. Now, actually, with the buggies, I think when we had a look last time at the models, and if we just go back to the buggy design, and if we have a look at the actual, this is the quality essentially that we end up having. If we have a look at the design score, the structural design into here is the average of that one. I think that's high level with what we end up having. So we end up with, but we've got a very, very poor engine design. So our engine is terrible, but everything else is good in this sort of sense. So I'm pretty sure we end up pushing it higher than we would have thought. Just because structural design is good, base design is good. That's just a shade over average. This is well above average, I think. Structural design. This doesn't change over the course of using these rovers. Engine design, I don't know if that changes. So I'm not sure exactly how that one's going to apply. Weapon design. If we have a look at the actual thing itself and then open the design log, we can then sort of see what's actually happened. So some of these are just random values. So you can see down through here the base design is 87, and base design can be anywhere between 70 and 100. So 85 is the average, and actually this is below average. Sorry, this should be, the average is 100 here for structural design. So we are below there. Structural design is just a random number between 70 and 130. 92 is below, is subpar. So these are not the greatest. So this would be viable in terms of redesigning this, and like when we do get a model designer into the actual game itself, which we don't have just yet. But it does give you information there about all of the different. Now, where's the? We're just looking here for the actual engine because that's also very, very poor. I don't know if it'll show us here. No, it's not actually showing us. Go back again. So as the more you use things, the more their base design goes up, which then it gets applied a little bit to the structural design. So the two of those combined sort of give you, so it's substandard at the moment. Wait, yeah, I'm not seeing there the actual where it's got the, yeah, we've got base recon points as 1, but then we have the better recon for the buggy as 7. I'm not seeing the armored, sorry, the weapon, not the weapon, God, the movement, the engine design. Yeah, that's sort of like that's not the number that we're looking for, because it should be the engine should actually show up in here somewhere, but it's not. Oh, there we go. Sorry, engine design based on base design, modified for structural design. Okay, so that's low though. Wonder why. I don't know what the maths are for these, and the armor design as well, and then weapon design. Yeah, so it uses the based on the base design, modified for structural design. So I'm not exactly sure. So they're using the other two numbers to sort of then go and get those. The other two numbers are the most important ones, this structural design and base design in through there. Anyway, let's leave that one and go back to the map. So every unit has got those sorts of aspects where they slowly build up over time. It's incredible depth in this particular game. Like, it's just amazing what Vic, the developer, has done with this. All right, so we'll talk about logistics some other time, like as in the nitty-gritty of it, but everything, I'm pretty happy with all of that. So just keep the movement where we are there. That's all okay. Nothing should be able to really sort of zip back through here. I would like to get these choke points in through this up to here at some point. We'll just let that actually develop. I think we're done for this turn. So let's just go and end our turn here. Now we sort of see the beasts. Will they attack? I sort of hope they do, because it will actually whittle them away a little bit. And we can then sort of see how they attack as well. There's more movement at the top, which is interesting. Yeah, there we go. He's attacking. And did a lot of damage. Lost 400 infantry. Did a ton of bureaucracy. Okay, that's fine. Nothing there for us, really. But extend one of the mines into lower grade deposit areas. Gain reserves, lose efficiency. That's okay. Okay, we've just picked up another force in through this other side. So these are sort of moving along where they actually are. We've now used up all of our industrial points as we start to sort of try to build this location. And so we've got 1.7 turns left. We've hardly done anything in there. We're not going to have, with no industrial points, I can't go and get any replacement troops for this. This was just militia that we had moved up into that location. This particular location here, we do actually have a lot of different things in this particular force. So let's move that one up. Now that is the, this one here is the blue crawlers. And if we have a look, these are also walkers because they're so large, 12 meters high. They don't defend all that well, but they've got heaps of hit points. I won't worry about them so much, but they're sort of wandering around all over the place. Now we want to use these with strategic movement along the road. So we're just going to put them up into here. And then we're seeing more of these guys now up in this side. And we don't know what this is just yet, but we can now start to move up and try to push whatever this is back up. There's another group up there. This is the Polis Imperium, which is a major regime. So we've come across a major regime right from the very, very start. Now we can, at least what we can do here is to push and surround this location. We've got a lot of forces in there. Yeah, there's heaps in there. Oh, wow. There's absolutely heaps. But I don't want them breaking through this other side. So I am going to take that and just have them surrounded. Okay. Move these on up. Move them on up. Get them up into that fight as well. These we want to just keep, so we now get the high recon with all of these units. Just keep on shuffling these across. If I did go in for the attack here, it's unknown odds really at this stage, so I'm not going to do anything there just yet. But we want to be destroying this one if we can, and that one as well. To be honest, these beasts, these aliens, we do want to get rid of. I'm just going to keep that one where that is as well. I might move that one back down into this location. They may wander down into here themselves, so I'm assuming that they're going to be more aliens that we're going to have to try to get rid of at some point. Bring the artillery up. So the best way for me to move this now is just going to be through strategic movement. So I can now use the road network to bring these up to that location there. I don't know if I've got enough there to then make use of with the other. Yeah, I do. So I can bring both of those up. When they arrive, they've now arrived, but at 50% readiness. So the readiness is now dropped. So we're not ready to use them just yet, but they are at least now up into that particular zone. Our ammo is okay at this stage. We've got to keep track of all of these different things. Everything's looking pretty good there. I think I'll just leave it where that is. So there's nothing much for us to do this turn. Again, these beasts are trying to sort of move themselves out. What have we got there? That one is a gives me 40 research bonus points, which we don't really need at this stage. Yeah, I'll just go back to inspect mode, which is the safest of the modes. That way you don't accidentally move things along. So we'll keep that one where that is. Yeah, we'd like to grab York, but I don't know, there's so many different units there. These are raiders, a minor regime. Anyway, we've sort of locked them off. There's nothing for them to do. Okay, we'll end our turn there. Yeah, really can't do anything while we don't have any industrial points. Now, that's a big force there. I'm sort of hoping that they go back more and take these guys on. You can see there we just got a whole lot of ice appeared, so we're now in essentially a winter period. So there was another attack that went in. So we'll start the turn. We've got a unit with low supply, so someone has been cut off. So we'll just dismiss this. We'll have a look at that in just a minute. And problem soldier morale. So we may look at their salaries. In fact, yeah, we can certainly do that, I think. So these herbivores have now wandered off, and if we have a look to see what's going on, I don't know. They attacked these guys, unfortunately, and they've now locked us off from that location. So these creatures here attacked the group that was up in here. So we ended up having two different units that were trying to sort of survive in that particular area. Now they can't move into there. Why not? Oh, because I haven't got move on. That's why. All right. So we do want to be moving back down into here. So I'll just keep that one where that is. These are going to keep on attacking though, and so we just want to get more forces up into this other side. The artillery may be useful in this sense. I'll keep whatever that one's doing just where that is. Yeah, we have a little bit of work to do here. So we've got this guy surrounded, and we've still got no industrial points because we're spending it at the moment to build this. If we have a quick look at our at Claystron, and yeah, we're now at 8. So as we sort of look at this one, you can see there that we've got the health points now thumping along. It's slowly pushing up that score. These are moving down. These are 50 divided by 4, so we're sort of looking at about 12. So they're slowly moving down. The security and the education scores are coming down. Entertainment score is going to be somewhere around 25, so it's moving up slowly. So these are slowly pushing up, and the quality of life score is also pushing up, which is then pushing our civilization score, which is the average of all of the quality of life. I've only got one city, so essentially it's sort of pushing that one up slowly as well. So there's like a softening of the numbers, but this is going to slowly sort of build up just until we end up getting to the civilization score 9, which is what our first target really is. So now, did we get through? Where did we get to? We've got Snuffy McGee saying that sounds cool. I think it's fascinating as hell. I'm not sure which one you're referring to there, but you can see down through here we've actually now got the weather. We've now got extreme cold in the southern pole. We're sort of on the south pole in through here on this particular world. So if we have a look at the actual location, you can see there the temperature here is -4 Celsius. This one here is 0. That one is -1, and so these are now sort of, because of the rainfall, we've now got snowfall that's actually happened down along these areas. It's not going to impact us very much, so it's a very hot planet overall, and so in the north we shouldn't see any ice up there at all. So it's just purely where we are. It's where the down along the south and through this other side, and we'll be in we're in late spring of this is northern hemisphere centric, and so it's essentially it's late autumn for us. So that's sort of where we are. So we'll be hitting winter, so we can expect to see even higher levels of snowfall. But it's not going to impact much on what we do. Now the militia, we're doing it. The militia to just keep things going here. Just keep them going up that way as well, just trying to keep them away from all of our infrastructure. This one is now surrounded, so it may come after us, and so we'll just try to dig in a little bit here. Try to sort of, if we can defend, we'll actually probably do a better job than by just sort of charging on in. Now we've only got the one group of armoured cars there, but I can't do anything because I don't have any industrial points, so I'm sort of stuck with that particular one. We're stuck here as well. We'll try to dig in here, I think. Just move that one up as well. So we're sort of gearing up against this one, but trying to keep everything open for these guys as well. So we'll just leave that one where that is. So we'll sort of, and by doing this, we end up digging in. So this particular unit, for example, is got entrenchment there of 22. That will have a level. These guys here have got 0 entrenchment at this point in time, but eventually they will entrench. And if we have a look at the grassy plain, so that one, we've got the grassy plain selected there. So when we have a look at grassy plains, you can see down through there, it's got in the top bit with the troop type. If we look at infantry, so there's no attack modifier or defense modifier. There's no automatic entrenchment. That's the A entrenchment. And the maximum entrenchment we can get there is 75. So we can't defend all that well, but we do actually have that major river crossing, the crossing to the south. So we end up with across the river crossing, there's a negative 45% if we did an attack. And so again, if somebody's attacking across the river, there is actually a big problem. So 45%. Because of the river. Now the movement costs that we end up having as well, if there's no sort of road, is with this one through here with the river for on foot adds plus 15 sort of action points to what we're actually then doing. Sarah Ranger saying, "Hey Daz, do troops gain experience, and how can we see this?" Okay, so with the troops themselves, yeah, they do actually gain experience. So again, if we're looking at that particular little group there, so this is the battalion, and so if we have a look at what they're doing, we've got down through here is actually their morale, and this through here is their experience, and so the experience is then applied to combat. If we have a look at the reports. And there should be a combat log because we did get attacked, so we can sort of see how these sorts of things do work. Zones. Yeah, I'm not seeing the actual reports there. Yeah, there should be a. There should be something in here for the actual for the combat. Oh, actually, it's I think we have to go to. If we go back across to here and have a look at the actual where is it? Strategic map? No, it's not that one. I can't think of where it is. History. It might be this one here, yeah. So if we go to the next battle, so this was actually of the previous turn. I can then sort of go through and either step through everything we can sort of see, any sort of movement. But if we go to the next battle, there was actually towards the end, this particular beast did actually. So this red scale wolf did actually attack against it, and they had 700. Essentially, was their like 7 big units, I guess, against, and they did lose one of them. But we had 1,000 foot, and we had GR-graded machine gunners there, and we lost 2 of those, and we lost 3 of these. So we lost five of our guys for one of theirs, essentially, is what we sort of see through there. If we have a look and see the actual report, we can then go through. We can't play it back out again, but the experience comes in here. And so their experience, the actual scale wolf had experience of 53. At the end of it, after the attack, it went up to 56, so it actually improved a little bit. For our guys, they started off at 20 and it got to 21. And what this one does is if I just go back out, it's actually a modifier. I'll just go back and go back to the map. It's actually a modifier with the combat. So if we attack, for example, if I started to do an attack against this particular unit, and if I can then go and it's got unknown odds, unfortunately. Now, why is that? We don't have enough recon to be able to really sort of gauge what's going on here. But what we can then go and do is at least we've got an estimation of the defences of what they have and an estimation of the offence that we have as well. And so we end up with an area where the readiness modifier. So if we've moved or we've sort of done anything where our readiness drops, it's essentially a multiplier for whatever it might be. If I just go and cancel that one, let's have a look at this actual unit. And so we do actually have the readiness there is. That was showing that it's 100%. Got 100% readiness. We've got entrenchment there of 40. We've got an HQ power there of 100. Yeah, I don't know. That should have been. There shouldn't be a negative there for the readiness. Readiness of modifier and attack values. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's actually kicking in there. But anyway, that affects the attack values. It also then affects the hit points. The next one here is experience. So the experience actually is, because we've got 22% on this particular unit, the experience level is now applying that as well. So this is another multiplier for how well the unit can then go and do. So if we had an experience of 100, it would be twice as good as a green level troop. So it essentially just means that the more veterancy a unit gets, the more powerful they're going to be able to sort of hit different things. And that works for both their attack values and also for their hit points. And so it's each unit in the group as well. Like you can see there, we've got the foot units and the twin barrel machine gunners. So that actually sort of applies equally in through there. This one is, we've got less readiness there for the foot less of a penalty for the foot as opposed to twin barrel. I'm not sure why we have that one. Then we actually have leadership, etc., etc. So it applies into there. it looks like the readiness of these other guys, of the experience, is actually 100, which means that they're doubly as good as what they were. So we have a look at these guys and just to see what we can tell. We can't see much. Yeah, we've got no idea what their readiness actually is, their experience, and so these actually are essentially they're just multipliers for combat. Okay, well we'll just see if they do another attack this turn, and until we really get on top of the industrial points, there's nothing much we can do. So we're expecting to see more snow fall. I could just go and just get rid of that little area down there. I think I might just push that one out just while we're here. There's nothing there. I'll just go and claim it and then we'll come back. There's no threats to the capital at this stage. I'm thinking I should have done something, but I can't think of what it was. Yeah, the Emu War Phase right now, says Snuffy McGee. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's your Carfax is then saying, yeah, the history tab. And thank you, Megacorp, for the subscription there. That's very, very much appreciated. Hi, just a Nyland Hellcat. How you going? So so look at the ice coming through. They're now attacking up this way, and we did get pushed back fairly badly. So we lost 400 infantry. We didn't kill any of theirs. We have 2 decisions and 72 reports waiting for you. So we'll start the turn. Okay, so entering atomic bureaucracy. Yeah, keep on reading that one. I don't need to do that one. Okay, so we made a promise, but we can't do that one. We can't keep that promise. So this unit, we did lose 4 infantry through here, and we are now starting to get back our industrial points. And what we're going to be needing is to now this one is showing it's only showing 2 of them. We know that there's more there. Our recon is 69, which we can get basic information, but not a hell of a lot else. These are now coming back. Let's just go and keep them under control. If they attack us in the hills or mountains, we do have an advantage there. So let's just move that one up. If we can herd them up into here, we can then sort of deal with them whenever we feel like it. Well, I think I'm going to have to get replacements before we do anything else. So we'll just go back to replacement troops. We do actually have 1 extra infantry. So we need 7 though of these, and we need 2 buggies. I'll just get what we need and try to get the buggies as well. Can only get 1 of them. So we'll still just take it easy. We don't want to be going on the attack just yet. Again, if I sort of start to do an attack in here, I've got unknown odds. Yeah, I'm not sure what that unit feat modifiers for the attack values is. It's negative 100% there, which is not good. Yeah, this is not good at all. If I use that one, I'm unsure what that unit feat modifiers for attack values. Now, there's something that's being applied, I think, from this unit. We're still not seeing anything. Yeah, I'm not sure which one is applying there. Anyway, it's not worth doing any attacks there just yet. Now I'm going to this one here. The supply is down a little bit. I'm just going to move that one down a little bit closer to the road. It will get. The troops should be able to get through to that location without any real issues. Let's move that one back home just to garrison that particular location. This has now wandered off into the top, which means I can now move up into this location. And we then actually have, at least we're going to be able to then defend fairly well against that particular group, I think. I'm going to move them down just to, yeah, okay, there's more herbivores back down that way. Which means I can now start to sort of, I've now locked those 2 in, so hopefully they move up into this location and then we sort of just, you know, ignore them largely. So bring them across. So we have the artillery ready to go. We do have a group there just to help defend that one. So we can start, when we do get started here, we're going to be able to hit pretty hard. But they're down to, they're sort of like, they're not besieged because we're not at war with them yet. But we'll just leave all that where it is. We'll let this one build back up. So its readiness is now 66, which is not good. So we'll just go back to our decisions. York Confederate is recruiting our troops. We're going to forbid our troops to join them.
I'm on it.
And relations going to go down. They're going to attack us at some stage. Vapotus Imperium is holding celebrations. Now Vapotus is the large major that we sort of seen through there. Now if we send is holding celebrations, so we can send a small delegation. So what do we end up doing through here? This is the Supreme Command Council. He's going to have to make a roll here. There's a diplomacy roll, die 100 plus 14 versus a difficulty of 117. Don't know what the cost is there. Our cost is just political points. We've got heaps. So I'll send the big delegation. This one here, we'll ignore their invitation. If we send a small delegation, it's only 7 political points. It's not money or anything like that. So I think we'll try this one, but I don't think it's going to be extremely... we can't even do it. The difficulty is beyond what we can then go and do. So we don't have the skills to be able to do well diplomatically anyway, but let's just still do it just to... do we want to do it? Yeah, we do. Yeah, did not improve relations. Our roll was 87. So yeah, we had a roll of 73 plus the skill levels that we actually had. Just takes us up to 87, plus the 14 that we had. So nowhere near at the 115 to be able to improve the relations. That's okay. It costs us a little bit of political points, but nothing that we have to concern ourselves with. Right. So next term we should then have all of these things established. We've still got this thing working away, 0.83 turns left there. Just keep that one coming. If we go back into Claystron, our score is 8 in through here, but we are, now see how things are now pushing back up again. These are slowly raising up, and the quality of life score is now 12. That will then pull this one up. Next turn we should get to 9, which is what we're sort of aiming for. So we'll end our turn here. Do you have any intel on the major yet? No, nothing at all at this stage. Very, very early days. I'm surprised to see a major that close to me, to be honest. So we're sort of just stuck in through here. We have 2 miners that we can ultimately get hold of. So we'll just keep these herbivores and try to push them up into that peninsula. I want this one to keep on attacking, but I want it to start to die off. Yeah, they did attack. Alright, let's have a look at that history. Research complete now in the power plant, so we'll go back to discovery. Alright, so with what actually happened there, that looked like it was a pretty effective attack actually. If we have a look at the history, they went after our armoured cars, which is exactly what we want them to do. The armoured cars are designed to be able to deal with this threat much, much better than anything else. So if we just go to the next battle, so we end up with the 400 or the four of the scale wolves are coming up against the rover. Actually, they lost nothing and we lost nothing, but the fact that they attacked will actually then cause a bit of an issue. Let's just go to the next battle, and then there was nothing else. So that works out well, and this guy has now wandered back up here, which is actually allowing us to. It's going to be pushing back against the major in through that side. So that's actually not bad. With what we end up having, so I'm happy enough with that. These are I can't get onto the road there. Sorry, onto the I'll just go and position that one down there, that one down there. Keep them in the mountains. They're just in hills. They can get into hills. Let's try to just herd them up. So, this thing did actually hit us fairly hard. We can see its readiness is only 41. So now we do actually have an opportunity to go after it. Readiness here is 78, so it's coming back up slowly. We now have all of the forces that are in here. I think we actually go for this because we now at least know what the readiness is. We still have this negative 100%, which is actually not good. I don't think we can do anything about that. Theirs has still got 96% though. If I grab everything and attack, it's unknown odds. The other option, yeah, if we have a look, we've now built this, by the way. We'll just have a quick look and see. Yeah, construction has just been finished on that, so we'll start to get more of the rare metals. Our money is just middling along, which is fine. Okay, what to do here? Still at 8, so it's still, these are just hovering around that 12 mark, which is what we expect for those, but these will keep on raising up, which should keep on pushing this up. That should be at 9. What we need to do though is to get more units. Gosh, it's a tricky one. If I got another unit there, if I raised another formation to independent battalion of buggies, I can get just enough. I think I'm going to get 2 groups and come in from different angles against these beasts. So let's go and grab another one of these. We'll raise that formation. So we've only got 2 of them in there. So it's sort of like it's a low level group. We're down to 54, which isn't enough to build another buggy. And we're going to also go to unit admin, change the HQ to the 1st machine gun. So they're going to be part of this group in through here. So we'll then start to shuffle these across once we get these ones done. We just need to get rid of this beast. Otherwise, they can just wander anywhere and do any sort of damage that they like. We're lucky when nothing else has moved in from here yet. And this is all sort of like open territory where the aliens can actually be operational. I'm not going to go after this just yet. Decisions, national budget allocation. I'm still happy enough with this. We are just getting enough political points, so I don't need to change that one up. I could make it 50-50, so let's just go and confirm that. Now we have motion that our average soldier's morale to reach at least 66%. Actually, that's important. We'll accept the motion.
Yes, sir.
Because we do need to deal with that. And now we've got a new organisation. Now, with what we end up having, the Military Research Council is going to be valuable at this stage. So I think we'll grab one of those, even though we don't have anyone great at doing that one. Model design, yeah, well, they'll come afterwards. Let's just get the military research, and then we'll just pop someone into that position. Training opportunity for the 5th Light Infantry Battalion. We can form 2 commandos in through here. Yep, so we'll do that. That will then make this guy happier.
Copy that.
Go that way. Okay, so just reading some more of the comments. Just a Nyan Hellcat saying I'm at work watching the stream. It's a decent distraction. Saying speaking of your tutorial video is what got me in the game. However, many months ago I have about 600 hours now. So thank you. Oh, that's great. That's great. So Avery Nyan Cat saying, oh my God, similar names. So I don't know how I ended up here. Yeah, farewell all. Yes, that's interesting. Right, so we've got this guy surrounded. His readiness is still going to be, it's still not moving up that much. The experience is crazy at 96. Yeah, type of unit, minor allied unit. Yeah, it's just a minor unit, but it's should be showing Walker there. Much like trip. Yeah, that's okay. No, that's fine. Just leave it where that is. I'm sort of tempted to attack this one, but I'm not really ready for it because we don't know what's there just yet. If we move in, we do get better recon on it, but at the expense of losing units. So let's save up so we can get more units. What I might do, because there's most likely going to be an attack that will go in, is just go back into the replacement troops and just get foot. I'll just get, say, 3 of them. So if we have some in reserve, if we've got 4 in reserve there, we probably want to get machine gunners as well if we can. I'll just produce a couple of them as well. That way we'll get some replacements if we do require them. We still need to get a total of four more buggies to bring them across. And they can just stay where they are. Right, I'll end our turn there. Will they attack? They're likely to attack, but they're not really ready to attack. Oh, that hurt. We lost 1,000 infantry that time. You failed to conquer. Yep, that's okay. Leader's disappointed with the promise. Yep, that's okay. Oh, sorry, that's one thing we were going to do, was to change what we're doing with our guys. Yeah, so that one did actually come in and sort of trampled our guys here. So these guys aren't really equipped for this. Now, if we have a look at the history again, just have a quick look at what actually happened there. So next battle. So they ended up attacking there. We did lose 400 there. Next battle was back over here, where we lost another 600. That's a bit of a problem. I might move that one back away in that case. And then that should be the end of it. Just leave them where they are. Okay, well, that was not good. Now, we've still got industrial points there of 168. And if we have a quick look now again at Claystron, we're still at 8. So it is slow, but slowly moving up. These are now stabilising at 15. These are still pushing up higher. This is now 15. This has got to be dragged up. This has got to be dragged up now. So next turn, I think. So what we'll do is we'll just go back to our replacement troops. In this case, I do want to get my buggies. I'm going to get 2 at a time. Produce those. So we still need another 2 of those. And we'll get another group of foot soldiers as well. So we've got a few more left over. And that's all of our industrial points then gobbled up again. You can see now we're it's now summer in the north. It's now winter for us, so we are getting the snow and ice across the base. This one here again, if we just have another quick look at it, its readiness has not really improved at all. Now the independents, what are they building in there? Another dome farm. That's okay. I'll just move that. I'll keep that one where that is actually for now. Actually, I'll move it up a little bit. Now, this is going to be another problem because they've built a road. Next turn, that's going to then zip off and half the logistics is going to go there. It will bounce back, but then it will bounce back in both directions. So I only want to have only enough going up in that direction. So I'm just going to go back to the traffic signals by pressing T, double-click on that one, and change that to allow pull points through but block everything else off. So that road will then allow stuff that needs it to go back across, and so that way we'll keep keep the logistics still moving up along to York. Everything else is fine. You'll just keep them where they all are. 4 decisions. New director for the Military Research Council. Now, we don't have anyone really that suitable. These guys aren't that happy either. Let's have a look and see who we've got. Leaders. Yeah, low intelligence, no skill set. Cap 3 isn't terrible. And this one here is a Cap 3 as well, with high intelligence actually. So this one actually will be reasonably good. So Gordon Brady there to come in, I think. I think I'm happy enough with that. We could actually just go back to our cards, the strategy cards, and go back to nation. Oh, here we go. We can increase the income tax here. Let's go and execute that stratagem. Oh, we didn't manage to do it. That's a shame. We do have 2 fate points as well. You don't need to do that one so much. The Merc is not going to be what we want. Let's go with a junior. We'll execute that stratagem.
I'm on it.
And that'll bring another one into the reserve pool. Cap 2. Terrible, terrible. I think Gordon's going to have to be the guy. So his natural relation point, there was only 44. Which is not good. This one here, the natural relation point here is 64. Job prestige is the problem with him. That's the thing that's really pushing him down. And this one, yeah, this one's troublesome. Interesting, yeah. No, that's the natural relation point is an issue there. He's going to be a problem. Tauren, he's only slightly less intelligent, so I think we'll actually put, even though he's got less loyalty at this stage, I think we'll actually give him what needs to go in there. So let's just go and bring him in. So we'll let's go back to the map and go back to the decisions, and we'll appoint him. It's IPR.
Affirmative.
So he improved with plus 67, so that he will ultimately be okay because he wants to be high level, and he is at this stage. Now in this case, this one's an easy one for us. All we do is we put everything into research and nothing into discovery. And if we've got nothing to research, it all goes into discovery anyway. So that's the easiest way to make sure you're going to get what you want. So we're going to confirm that.
Affirmative.
And so he'll now start to look for things we can then go and do. Threat of war. President of York has contacted us that his force are ready and willing. So now I think we end up going... They want us to do this, but they're both fairly high level. Actually, I'm just going to quickly call her. I think, who is that one? That's Supreme Command. No, that's not what I wanted. It's the Secretary I'm looking for. So I'm going to allow them to declare war.
I'm on it.
And so they declare war on us, that's fine. And Vapotus is offering to improve relations. It's going to cost 500 credits, and he doesn't want to do that. This is the director of the Research Council. Now the trouble with him is because he doesn't like enforcement. So if we have a look at his thing, he's very negative with enforcement. Like he hates it, which is going to be an issue for us because we are using enforcement. I'm going to take the offer though. What do we know about them? POTUS, elitist major regime. The Emperor, Ignatius Noonan. They are cold. Look, I think that we won't spend the money. We'll actually just go the other way. So we'll decline that. All right, that just keeps everyone sort of happy-ish with what's going on. So we have war now in through here, and so what we want to do is we want to bring the artillery in to fire against this particular group. So if we have a look and see what we can then go and do, we've got a ranged attack. So I'm going to use the artillery to fire on this. We do actually have 3 of them ultimately that we can then go and make use of. So there's no return fire expected, so let's just go and start to pepper these a little bit. We have minimal recon, which is a bit of a problem.
Fire when ready.
We aren't getting hits. These are all just raiders.
Yes, sir.
Right, we got 1 kill. Actually 3 kills there. So we did kill an armoured car and one of those units. And what else have we got? Page 2. Another militia. And but that did soften them up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. We'll just stay where we are there. And just click on OK. So it's still they're way too strong for us to attack at this period. So we'll just keep everything where that actually is. That's all working. Nothing else we can really do here. So I've done all of our reports. So Bozo Watts is saying, I've started this game several times with a lot of motivation, but I always fail to navigate through the menus and search for specific information and functions. It's a real shame. I find it highly fascinating. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's actually, the game is not great in terms of user experience. Like, it's actually in terms of the approach to user experience, which is fairly similar for most war games, to be honest. Like, most war games aren't very good at doing that, and this game is no exception. And so what advice can I give you? It's sort of one of those things, you do get used to it, like what to click on and so on and so forth. I do find that the manual is generally good at trying to do things, and the reason that the manual is actually a better resource than you probably think it is because Vic was using this as his. This is a tool that he uses to keep track of anything that he does. So it's actually his almost what do you call it? Almost like a change log. So he actually builds the manual as he builds the game. So it's not as if he writes. It's not as if he built the game and then wrote the manual. Certainly the manual has been polished a lot, but anything he thinks of, anything like that, ends up in the manual. So by having it open, having the PDF open, and then just searching for the words that you want. Like, there's a lot of pages in the manual, like there's a hell of a lot. But generally you can find, particularly if you start sort of searching for various, tables and things, you will actually find there's a lot of information in here about different bits and pieces. But as I said before, it's a bit of a brain dump for the developer, like to actually just whenever he's done something, it ends up in through here with what actually does go on. So there's a lot of detail in this side, and again, as I said before, there's things that there's so much in this here actually with what does go on. It's just it is a how many pages are there? 416. Wow, it just keeps on growing and growing all the time. You can see there, Victor is in charge of game design, programming, AI development, manual writing. The manual writing is actually the, as I said before, his as he's developing, he's writing the manual as he goes. And it's actually, when the game first released, it actually really does, it works well, like with what actually has come through with this one through here. So, even things like the maritime trade houses, which we aren't playing with, we've turned that off. So this is the Oceania DLC. So even that just gets added into the manual itself. There's no separate manual for that. It's just great. Like so I would recommend using that one. And you can see down through here, like this one's. It's a few. Like we're in version 1.27E or F or something like that. So even the manual is actually updated, like and uploaded when the major versions come along. And so and as I said before, like it's not. Often games don't update their manuals, but these actually are. There are, I think, also people giving feedback on what improvements should be made to the manual. Now, having said that, I don't know how prevalent that is at the moment. Like with people doing it, I know at the start there was a lot of people correcting spelling and stuff like that. So Justin Hellcat saying, I'm popping in just to chit chat with you. If you'd like, I can help you with it. Maybe I've gotten into all my friends into playing it with me. Yeah, so any advice you can give actually to get people into it, I think is great. So those sorts of things. Yeah. So Justin and Hellcat was actually over through there with the in the other group. So saying, why not rush light tanks? That's what I do early game personally. Yeah, I tend to, but I tend to like to get my armoured cars. I like to get 2 groups of armoured cars out first because the tanks do cost a lot. In this case, the tanks would be great against those walkers, but I think the armoured cars ultimately will be what we need at this stage. Also, I didn't see them in the list. I don't think we've actually got the light tanks available to us just yet. So that's a bit different. So Aaron is saying, hope you're having a good day. Thanks for the stream. Not a problem at all. Hope you're enjoying it. So, Bozer is saying that's good advice. Maybe I should give it a try. Never thought of that. Just read through the manual, but never use it to find specific functions. Yeah, I find that searching is actually great. Like it's like what we did before. I mean, it was hard to find the civilization scores in through there. It should be. I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see that it was consistent spelling, and it does use British spelling. So just be aware of that. You're going to end up with like I think if I do colour the American way, oh, it does have it. Okay, what about the British way? Let's just do a test. Yep, no, it's both. Okay, forget what I just said there. I thought that had been made consistent, but it's not. So they're using using spelling from both British and American. So if you're going to do colour, for example, you just do that portion of it before you got into the variation there. But it's and if you do that and then just press enter, yep, it's found 42 on the actual pages there for whatever you're looking for. So quite often you'll be able to just quickly search through. I tend to use this particular one for manuals. This is Sampastra, I think it is. It's just a really cut down PDF viewer, which I like better than Acrobat. Acrobat's got it sort of fills up the screen with all of the Acrobat stuff, whereas this is quite nice. I can just actually have multiple manuals open and just find what I need from them. So it's it sort of works out well. But the manual is, as I said before, very, very well thought out. I'm just going to grab myself a quick drink of water. So I'll just be right back. Now, if I do actually, it's just again try to see if I can actually build. I don't have the industrial points to be able to do this, but if I just go into raise formation again, and just see if we do actually have. Oh, we do have light tanks. There they are. There. Yeah, I probably should have done that. It's the light tanks do actually have a. I generally start off that way, but the light tanks have been nerfed a little bit in recent times. And I do find that the armoured cars are very, very handy, usually against these sorts of things, but these are bigger, so light tanks would be more effective against these. But I still think the armoured cars are going to help us a lot. Let's have a quick look and see if we can, if we have a look at the management screen. At the models, and we do actually have the light armor, which is structural design is average. That's above average. Yeah, this is actually good. These would have been a better option for me. We've got the howitzer gun, which would actually work out fairly well. It's got better attack values in through there. Recon is 4, which is actually still reasonable as well. This is sort of like a bit of a hybrid, but it's almost like a tracked armored car. Like they're not as powerful as they used to be, but it's still good. Yeah, so this one actually would have been good. It's just expensive to bring them in. Also, they do chomp through the fuel a little bit, but it still would be good. So we might look at trying to bring some of them in when we can afford it. But I do like getting armoured cars just for the recon and the expansion. They're cheap. The armoured cars also use a lot less fuel, and these can actually range further out into unknown territories. They can actually survive for longer than their tanks can in sort of like in behind enemy lines. So they're both useful, but I do like the armoured cars at the start. So anyway, let's just go to the next turn. Will that attack this time? That's where we want it. That's where we want it. That one has pushed in again, and this one's now pushing down again. We still didn't kill any of it. We lost 800 infantry again. All right, so it's a problem. It's a problem. Just missed that one. Okay, so these are now building up. Just go and press the M key just so we can move these in. Move that to that location. Move that one back down and move this one in. Now we still want to be getting more. Now, did we actually get to that next level? Policy speech. Soon your subjects are eager to hear about your short-term priorities. A choice between the following 3 goals are expected. The goal at war with Mayhem. Mining assets reach at least 3 levels, so we need to get one more mine, which I think is probably what we'll end up doing. Goal is the number of hexes in which you have recon. I think we'll do that one there, because we do have there is actually a mine in the top that we will be wanting to go and get. Now that we've got trucks, you can see that it's going backwards a little bit when we start to move things around. So we have to be careful. With this group in here, I'm just going to move that one up. Oh, there's another beast moving down. We don't have much that we have to worry about down through this other side. Just trying to keep them shuffling up into this location. If I can just lock them off, that would be so useful. This thing here is still coming down. And we did take some damage there. We're going to need to still get more replacement troops. Still got 2 more buggies to get. Produce those. And we also need to get more infantry. So these beasts are certainly doing damage through there. The artillery is we've got 0, and I've just spent all my my money here. So we need to go back into. Oops. If we go back into getting where is it? Workshop. Ammunition. So I can get 70, which is nowhere near enough.
Yes, sir.
And so it's the industrial points are what's really hurting us at this stage. So we've got very, we use a lot of ammunition. Now the troops will still actually have some ammunition themselves, but I'm not going to hit this one again just yet. So I'm going to leave that one where that is until we can get on top of the ammunition. We're sort of not doing all that well, to be honest. It's we'll just end our turn again. And hopefully this time we'll end up with a where they don't attack too much. at that time. Marauders in Clyston. So, not sure what that's going to mean. Soldier morale. I keep on meaning to fix that up. Okay, let's just do that now. So if we go back into the reports, the secretary will then be the one that we see through here. We're going to go to the national budget, or salary, sorry.
Okie dokie.
And that way we can just go through. We want to give the soldiers just a little bit there. Get the secretary up with a little bit there as well. I'll just raise them slightly. So we'll just go and confirm those changes. That will then increase the soldier morale. Militia learns from experience. So we'll just go. Yes. I don't want to be spending the money at this stage. We're not making enough. Marauders in Clystron. Wild groups of marauders are slaughtering people and workers outside their domes. They came in with the wind and are elusive to kill and chase. So we're making progress, but help would be appreciated. Can I count on your support? So yes, we give full support. Now the difficulty is high, but we do actually have a die 100 plus 97. So that's actually not too bad. That's about average.
Affirmative.
So, okay, it's 120, adjusted roll increase with due to air support was 170, increase with +8 in junior security score and our troops in the zone is 188. But they roll increase, there we go, adjusted roll 193, final roll 193 versus difficulty 158, so success. So we limited the damage substantially, danger increased to +6. We did lose some population and some workers though. So we lost a little bit of population growth with that particular one, but we're still doing okay. Now, the black that we see, these little black dots mean that the units are not getting all their supply. So the supply has now gone down, and that's because we have run out again of ammunition. So we now need to, let's have a quick look at Clystron again. How are we going with this? Still at 8. That should be pushing up. It should be dragged up. I'm not sure why that's actually sitting back at 8. It should be way up. Let's just go back to the workshop and just get heaps of ammunition. We'll just spend everything on ammunition now. So we'll produce the ammunition. That way they'll be shipping that out to everyone. These guys will still actually have some ammunition. So supplies are low, but the actual ammunition itself should be. That's the information there. Actually, where is it? It should still be. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So in this case, the ammo, we've got 240 of 600 with that one through there. We're not receiving any at this stage, but so we still have a little bit of ammunition. Now the recon on that one is now 120, 123 or 173. Hard to tell. I think it's a 2. I think it's 123. Let's have a look and see what happens if we did attack this. It's got unknown odds. We don't know what the odds are going to be. So, I mean, we could go in with the whole group. And just do a full-on attack if we wanted to. We get this concentric bonus, which really does do a lot of damage here. I'm tempted to do it. Let's just do it.
Going in.
Oh, look at the damage that they're doing. Oh my god. I didn't even kill one of them. This is terrible. That is terrible. How on earth did we not even kill one? I can't believe it. They killed heaps. Jeez, that's shocking. So German espionage is saying, shouldn't you wait for the ammo to trickle into the units? Well, they had ammunition, they just didn't have replacement ammunition. Oh, man, that was brutal. I don't know how I'm going to be able to kill these. They're just too big. Too big, too powerful. Alright, well, let's just see what actually happens here, I guess. And we've got no more there. I should have waited. Actually, I might cheat. I think that's going to put me back too far in the game. I'm going to save scum, guys. Sorry, I'm going to go and load the game in. If I go and quit, are you sure? Yes. Load save game. So we'll load in the save just before the start here, and we'll just do that again. That was terrible. All right, so we're back here again. We don't have any of that. We'll go back into a workshop. Oh, hang on. Why can't we do that one? Oh, hang on. That's the end of the last turn. Okay, so we'll end our turn here. The other option is to bring back the artillery. Yeah, it's got the Marauders civilization level. Here we go. We've finally got the civilization. That did come up this time. So we'll dismiss that. And we do want to, actually I did mean to go back and talk to the secretary, so I'll do that now. Salaries. Okay. To confirm. All right. Militia learns from experience. Let's just go yes. And Marauders. So we'll give our full support.
Affirmative.
Yep, so that was fine again as well. Right, okay, so these guys need to move back in. We now need to go and get more of the ammunition. I'll just keep a little bit there. We'll produce that ammunition there. We do want to get the bureaucratic points, but I'm going to need to just deal with these things first. Now we are at war in here, so again, the ammunition really gets chomped along by the artillery. That just really chews it up a lot. Both of these are now in here, which is interesting. I'll just leave them where they are. Again, ideally they both move off into there. Now we do actually have another group moving down this way as well. Again, nothing much else for us to do this turn, so we just really just got everything just sitting back. They're attacking that one. They're attacking back that way. We're still not doing any damage here at all. Dome breach in Claystron. That's not good. Okay, so we're in a full-blown time of bureaucracy. The effect is you will, yeah, okay, that's fine. You're getting that one all the time. Soldiers' morale has now gone up, which is good. Wow. We just, here we go. Yeah, that's good. We've now got them locked in. Okay, so ammo has now been dwindled off yet again, so we'll just need to go back to the workshop, get another
Yes, sir.
big group of it. Replacement troops. And just produce those. So again, we're completely out of industrial points in here. That should hopefully then keep these under control. So we'll ultimately just be able to, if they move in together, I can just move up a biggest unit just to sort of keep them under, like, where they can't do much. Dome breach. So meteor strike caused a dome breach. Breathable air is venting out, and the toxic planetary atmosphere is filling the dome. Casualties are mounting as I speak. So yeah, we'll count on. You can just ask, and we'll make it happen. So we'll just go this way.
Affirmative.
So they get onto it. We did lose more population there. So failure. Our efforts did not have much effect, unfortunately. So that's not good. And again. I'm going to keep. What should I do here? So move that one around. It's a shame that we're not doing any damage at all when this thing attacks. These are just way too powerful. Often aliens aren't anywhere near this strong, but these are monsters. Yeah, so just any Hellcats saying, Daz, please just get tanks for the wildlife. You should be able to overrun them. I doubt they have much hard defence. Well, they actually do. When we looked at them, they've got. Oh, here we go. They're attacking. We didn't kill any of them. We're just not able to deal any damage here. Jeez, this is really bad. Just got a new tech university. I don't really need the university, so I'm just going to dismiss that one there. Boy, oh boy. Got a little bit of ammunition there. And then this one took some damage. So these here... the polymer armor that they've got. So polymer armor is up to 40% more hit points and classed as hard target with polymer armor. So that's why they're really, really difficult. So when we do go in against them, these are really, really difficult to fight against. And if I tried to get tanks, I mean, tanks would be helpful a little bit, but it's still. Yeah, still against the polymer armor, it's going to be tricky here, no matter what I do. Let's just turn on our logistics again. Go back to workshop again. Just get more ammunition. We're going to have to spend this a lot on ammunition here.
Yes, sir.
And replacement troops. Machine guns are okay, everything else is okay there, so that's fine. Yes, so we've only got 59, so I still can't get any more tanks. So can you give them a route to retreat away? They won't, I don't think. These are really difficult. They've got things like Crusader, which is has a tendency to actively engage a human presence in a neighbouring area. So they're likely to move any old place. And if I let them move into the mountains, they're going to get even. It's become impossible. It's already almost impossible for me to deal with them. So I'm not sure they've got absorption as well. Hits on the critter often with the higher the level, the more often. Do not register for unmodified attack value. It's not higher than unmodified hit points. Which is why I'd say the combination of the polymer armor plus the absorption, these are high level as well, level 3 and level 3 there. It's also a trampler, up to 30% extra combat bonus versus infantry and guns. An acrobat, up to 40% combat bonus in forests and ruins, which that's the one thing that doesn't apply. But it's not good. It's not good. So this is, as I said before, an absolute monster. Just grab this territory a little bit. And this one just keeps on hovering around us, unfortunately. I'm not sure what to do about this. That is, it's chewing up all of my time. Yeah, I'm really unsure. It's almost, I'm thinking, oh, this is actually now becoming too hard. Like we're not going to break out of here for a long period of time. So it's almost, I think it's almost like a restart, to be honest. It's almost like a just count your losses now, because we're not going to get through there. We're not going to get through here with this. No, like, and even the other major has been attacking this thing, but it just doesn't. Nothing's doing any damage at all to these creatures. Wow, it's a great game. I mean, the fact that it does this sort of stuff is actually really, really cool. Yeah, so, and I've got to get going fairly soon anyway, guys. So I think I might call it quits, but I think I'm going to take this as an L, as a loss. Because I just don't think I can break through it. So it's, yeah, and even even going in with what should be pretty overwhelming abilities against a unit just doesn't seem to sort of work. The only other thing I can think of would be to bring artillery back down. If we do, maybe we'll try that and see what actually happens here. So we'll go to the... I'll just do that quickly. I'll just go back to strategic movement. Can I move that one strategically? No, I don't have enough. Don't have enough because the ammunition's been going along the roads. So I can't even do that. Okay, so we'll just go back to standard movement mode. Yeah, no, we're in a lot of trouble here.
I'm on it.
Changes of that one. I'm going to research nothing here. That way I'm going to bypass the university and find other things to discover. Anyway, I think I'm going to have to call it quits here, guys, but I'm thinking we take this one as a loss. So make some noises like a female scale wolf and lead them away, says Grob. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what else I can do here. It's that's really difficult. I don't know if that's part of the what we might do. Let's actually go and have a look at what everyone actually had. So let's go to the preferences. Actually, sorry, no, we need to go back to our call her, and we're going to resign.
Okie
Resign decision, yes.
dokie. Okie dokie.
And we end our turn. Now that's the top of the carnivorous tree, that one there, and the other ones that are wandering around as well are the biggest of the herbivores, and so they're massive. There's massive herds of them, and they're monstrous as well. Yeah, we're not doing any damage at all. I think we only destroyed one of theirs. All right, so that's now the end of the game for us. We can then start to sort of see. So there were marauders up through there. There's another smallish group down through there. There was another group of crawlers there. More metal back over this side. More of the herbivores. That's a different type of herbivore. That's a yeah, massive hit points. These are just crazy. And then we've got, these are the actual, these will be sentient beasts. And so these are sentient beasts that are based on the, they've got red scale wolves as their beasts of burden. So they've actually got them coming in. Now, what do they have? Yeah, massively strong. So this is the actual group as well. This one doesn't have quite the absorption, but it is a burrower. What does that one do? That one gives it, can burrow unseen under your troops when attacking, better attacking for, wow, these guys are just crazy. So this is actually the alien group, and then we've got the cephaloid tribesmen. So the tribesmen are almost like caveman type units, but these are going to be still fairly strong with what they can then go and do. But overall, these aren't that good. These are 4 meters tall, and so these are tribesmen are low level. So we've got one group of aliens in through there, sentient aliens, and we've got another group down in here. So this looks to be like another this is Myanmar territory. This is Vomanar territory. If you have a look at these guys, these are also tribesmen. So both of them were low tech with what they ended up having, but they did actually have these red scale wolf units fighting alongside them. So so they had those. God, there's heaps in there in that particular group. This one here is a group of their Ramino territory. These are Rhoders, so they're sort of they're going to be sort of expanding out of their territory. We are now seeing that will be one of the majors. This is actually that's non-aligned forces. This is the Vopus Imperium, which was the one that was close to where we were. So they are up in through here. This Mayhem mode. Look at what they've got. They've got Abram tanks. These are medium tanks. They've got rocket organs back through that side. Jeez, how on earth would we have been able to compete with this? That is crazy. That is just absolutely crazy. And even they have trouble against these units. These are metallic. You're treated with metal armor. So doxy mollusks. And so even these things can't fight really effectively against the beasts on the map. Yeah, it's interesting to see that. Yeah, so they've got bombers and all sorts of stuff, Starfires. It's a very heavy jet engine. It's got a range of, what, 7 hexes, so not very far. Okay, so not that we'd be wanting to worry about that one. Yeah, I think moving through this actual planet would have been really difficult. There's a group in through there. This is the Zemenis territory, which has got walkers. These are just sentinels. That'd be very, very easy in comparison to the actual planet itself. Zoom out a little bit and have a look and see what else we can see. God, this would just be unbelievably difficult. Another group of walkers back over here. Yeah, wow, this is great. Then another major. So the majors start in Mayhem mode. They obviously start a long way out from where we are. Yeah, there's no. If they had a fought against us, there's no way we would have been able to defend them against them really. Then we've got another group in through here of just biped cavalry. And is that another major? Yeah, another major up there. Weberstadt, again with heaps and heaps of tanks. So these are yeah, very, very difficult. So and then we've got an arachnid group in through. This is actually new in the game, by the way. Is that we've got your standard old arachnids, but you've now got like other abilities for arachnids where they can actually go and do other things. And so this arachnid colony looks to have taken over these other different locations at the top. And so we've got the standard old arachnids are sort of what they were before, with nothing much really added to them. These are insectoid beasts, very hard carapace and extremely high level of aggression. So still very, very difficult to fight against. But then they've now actually end up. This is the queen of the arachnids. So they've actually fleshed out the way that arachnids now work. And so this is it's immobile but a really monstrous, huge animal. As long as an arachnid territory has a queen, it will have a much higher rate of spawning new units. So it spawns new units as well. So this is, and again, we're not sort of seeing anything down through there. It's got 1,000 hit points and fairly good attacks back and through there as well. It is considered infantry, so it's not massively large. And then we've got these as well. This is Defendrix, which is another type of arachnid. Is a really heavy plated and super sturdy cast of arachnid that acts as a pillar of defence for the horde. They have some serious anti-tank capabilities, and their strong pincers are able to remove armour plating from armoured vehicles. So these are again very, very high level arachnids. So you got your standard old arachnids. Now we've got any others? Yeah, we've got more of them in through here as well. But the standard arachnids are still strong. But yeah, this has all been fleshed out now. More in through that side. God, what a planet! I love that, just how the planets are formed. Let's have a look and see. Let's just form another planet using the Mayhem mode. And just see what resign straight away again. Yeah, it did say Mayhem on the box. It did indeed. We'll start a new game. So the Mayhem mode has come in. It's just a base game improvement to the game. If you call that an improvement, it certainly makes it more difficult. So if we just go into an unclassified world, Mayhem mode adds more treasures, smaller zones, and more dangerous AI minor and major regimes. And it looks like beasts as well. They're really, really difficult. But if we just keep that one on, just go continue. I'm just going to go into, I'll just keep everything sort of the way it was. Now I was playing on regular mode in that last one, so but we just couldn't beat the actual forces that were on the planet. Let's go and get ourselves, this is not going to form life, so just go and re-roll. 3.5 billion, there's a good chance we'll get life. So let's just go and get life on a world. Won't worry too much about what's formed in through here. So this is a land-dwelling small herbivore. It resembles a sponge. Its chemistry is sulfuric acid, carbon-based, and it's oxygen-breathing. So it's only a sponge level. I might just go and re-roll again. Do we get something a bit bigger? This is 13-meter carnivore. I guess this is actually going to end up meaning that we end up with, again, something really, really difficult. Let's have a look and see. We'll just go continue. Colonization, yep, that's fine. And then the Disillusion War. Continue. I love just how different each planet can actually end up being. These ones have got big forests. As an example, the previous planet didn't. Every start is like a new adventure. To it. Ascension speech. Actually, I'll just
aye,
go
sir.
that way.
Aye,
I won't worry too much about what we're doing in here.
Yes, sir.
All right. So in this case, we're actually starting off in a desert with a smallish faction off to the side. Actually, this would be an interesting one to sort of play out as well, but except that you've got those 13-meter tall creatures. Let's just go back in now and call and resign.
Aye, sir. Aye, sir.
So we'll do the resignation and end our turn. This one's got jungles and forests in the south, and then deserts running through the middle of the actual map itself. Yeah, look at these things moving in. Right, so this group in through here are warmongers. This group down here are farmers, and this group up in here are raiders. Back over here we've got slavers, so we're sort of surrounded. We would have been surrounded by other groups. There's an arachnid horde there. No queen though. So same sort of numbers that we were seeing before. Not sure where the queen is in that sense. Another arachnid horde there, and still no queen. I think that they may evolve over time. This here is, what's this one here? 30-meter carnivore. So again, this is going to be fairly strong. Evasion, acrobat, entangler, but it's not really. This one was easier for us to hit than the other one. Yeah, this one could be much more easily defeated. Like a hell of a lot more. So even though it's bigger, it's still it's actually weaker. So again, I love this. I love this about this game. You don't know what you're going to get when you start a game. That's a major faction back through that side. More arachnids back that way. Yeah, this Mayhem mode, I think we'll have to give this another go at some other point. There's another alien. 10-meter herbivore. does defend pretty well, but it's got low hit points, so it won't last long. So that wouldn't be a big issue. Yeah, this is again, this planet would be interesting with all of the mountains and deserts through the middle of it. Looks like there's mutants through the middle. Yeah, so the center of the world is just all desert and mountains. Yeah, just love how different every single playthrough is in this game. It's very, very cool. Anyway, guys, we do have to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be playing some Dwarf Fortress and sort of kick on from there. Yeah, so just any Hellcat. So imagine the co-op game we could play. Yes, no, it's the Mayhem mode. I think is going to be. Oh, hang on, what have we got? These have also been added in a little while ago. These are sort of like demonic forces and stuff. We've got like sort of demon groups, especially monstrous strain of mutants. So you got mutants which sort of come from the wastelands, and then you've got these demonic mutants, which are different again. These are not they're nowhere near as bad as what those other aliens that we were dealing with. Here's another different type of group. That's this one here is the still not as strong as what we were dealing with before. Nowhere near as strong. We got really, really unlucky with that last planet, but this one's interesting. Yeah, this is every time I roll a new planet, I want to play it. But anyway, next time we'll do another start and just see what we get. But these planets would be sort of doable, whereas the previous planet, I don't think no matter what we would have got against polymer armor, it just would have been too much. So hi Bob, how you going? Sorry, I'm just finishing up. So but I will be back tomorrow with some, as I said before, some Dwarf Fortress, and we'll continue on there. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.